Are you stuck in that catch-22 where you can't hire because you don't have enough customers, but you can't get more customers because you already are maxed out on your own time? This is one of the biggest hurdles in scaling a lawn care or home service business, and it keeps so many owners trapped, working harder instead of growing. In today's video, I'm going to break down exactly how to escape that cycle so you can hire with confidence, free up your time, and finally build the customer base you need to scale next season. Stick around because if you're in that stage, this could be the turning point for your business. So I do a lot of coaching calls, and oftentimes, especially the new entrepreneurs that are doing around 100, 250,000, they hit this mental roadblock in their business where they really don't have the time, they don't have the employees, they're really maxed out. I've been there before. I promise you, if you watch all the way to the end, I will explain exactly how to fix this issue. Because if you don't fix this issue, you will get burnt out physically. Fast forward 5 years from now, you probably won't be in business. So this is like one of the problems you must be able to solve in order to actually grow your business. One of the biggest mindset shifts that I will share with you is hiring isn't really about waiting until you're ready. It's about creating capacity ahead of demand. So what do I mean by that? Well, I really believe the timing that you decide to hire that employee matters more than the actual doing. Because if you fail to plan properly, and let's say you're going into the slower season and you're like, oh man, I'm so busy, but then you go out and hire this person. Okay, great. You bought back your time. You were able to free up that time that you would spend going out and mowing the lawns with someone else's time that it's going to slow down. And you're going to have to take the time to train that person. But after a couple of weeks, they should be able to mow the lawns by themselves, really. So that way you can free up your time more. Or both of you guys get in the same truck. You guys are able to crush the route in literally half the time because now you have two people. Oftentimes where I see people make the most mistake or the biggest mistake is they hire that person, they get the workload done in half a day, and then they get back to their house and they put their feet up for the rest of the day. That's not being a good resource and utilization of your time. The whole reason why you're hiring somebody to really grow and expand is so that way, number one, you buy back your time to go and focus on higher leverage activities to get a higher lever return on it. And so failing to actually implement that stage is where I think most people mentally, and me including, when I was in that stage, I was like, wait, but the numbers won't make sense right now. And you're right, they won't if you don't do anything when you get your time back. So the key factor in this whole thing is when you go and hire that new person, you must be able to fill more demand by going and focusing over there. So ideally, where I see this makes the most sense is right before a spring rush, or maybe during spring rush, where you're ramping up a lot and you've got all these new customers and you need more help because you're slammed with work and all that stuff. I would say that that's the biggest mental shift is you have to be able to release and delegate those tasks so that way you can go and focus on sending more estimates, doing more door hangers, getting on the phone and calling your pending estimates. Those kinds of tasks will unlock more work and then will allow you to maybe half of your time is spent doing some work and then the other half is spent selling and getting more customers. And so the season or the timing of this definitely matters. The other big key factor that I see a lot of people fall into this trap, again, myself included, I'm literally talking to myself when I was 18, 19 or younger, because I had started a business before I had joined the Army. Oftentimes when I talk to people that have this catch-22 issue, they've got all this work. One of the biggest things what lever that you can pull, let's say for example, right now I'm shooting this video, it is September/October. It's October 1st right now today. We know down here in Texas that the next 4 months is not busy. It's just not. I would not go out and hire somebody if I was at max capacity and eyeballs deep in work right now. I would not. Now, if you've been grinding, and I've been grinding for the last couple of weeks and months, and it's not getting any better, then we need to, before we get burnt out, alleviate some stress in our life. And one of the key ways that you can do that is by raising prices. Okay, let's just say this, for example. Most of the time, a guy here can mow 10 lawns a day. Let's say you've got 50 lawns, 50 weekly lawns right now. I would be maxed out, by the way. If I can only do 10 lawns a day, 5 days a week, that's 50. So that doesn't even give me any room for like a day off or like a sick day or vacation, something like that, or truck breakdown. Like we're running on real thin margins there for room for error, by the way. If you're tired of guessing your way through this home service stuff, we built a shortcut. Inside our private school group, we give you access to every SOP, document, and every blueprint that we've built that took us years to figure out. All you got to do is go down in the link in the description below, join the group, and you'll gain access to all of this stuff, including myself, to help coach you and grow your business. So if you find yourself at that max capacity, one of the most highest leverage things that you can do is actually raise prices across the board. Raising by 15, 20%, you will lose customers. You will lose probably 5 to 8 customers, maybe 10. But those other 40 customers that you keep will allow you, number one, to have a whole extra day back in your week, by the way, to recover and actually focus on like selling more jobs or acquiring better paying customers that are actually going to pay that 20% price that now you're charging. And the 40 customers that do stay, by the way, these are your best customers that don't complain, don't constantly call the office, don't have problems on the visits. And they're like the easiest customers that we find because they're not price sensitive. They don't care. They're busy people. They're working jobs. They just want to make sure the lawn's good as long as you're not like doing poor work, right? By raising those prices, it will free up your time, number one, to give you a little bit of room for like breathing room. Because again, if there's one person in the business that cannot get burnt out, it's you. So we need to make sure that your mental health is good. We need to make sure your physical health is good. If you can only do 50 lawns a day, but you're doing 55 or 60, that's a problem. You need to raise prices on your customers and get rid of some of them. And you will still make the exact same, if not more, most likely more profit on the 40 customers that actually stick around. And then when the season starts to pick back up again here in about 3 to 4 months, you say, well, Will, it's going to get slower in the off season. Sure, that's fine. It's okay. You'll lose a few customers, but the ones that stay with you, put them on winter services, still get revenue in the off season. And guess what? Come spring, when the demand starts to pick up, which you know when it is, by the way, you know when it's busy and all the customers start calling your phone. Right before then, I would be like, okay, let's plan this thing. I've already got 40 customers. I know the max is 50. So I need to hire somebody to do those 40 to 50 lawns. And at that moment, when you do that, you don't go back and sit up on the couch and relax and collect a paycheck or money or profit, whatever. Like you actually go out and start to sell more jobs. You actually go out and put more door hangers out or put up a Facebook ad or a Google ad or build out SEO on the back end of your website to actually acquire more customers. This is how you grow a business. You have to be able to delegate work and buy back your time to go and focus on the higher leverage activities that will generate more return. That is the key aspect that most people cannot in their brain conceptualize. Most of the time they look at their profit and loss statement or they look at the money in the bank and they're like, there's no way I can afford to pay somebody. You're right. That's why you need to raise prices. That's why you need to get to a healthy place where you're not overloading yourself with all of this work. Raise prices, cut out the bottom 20%, get your time back. Now you have really good paying customers. It's setting yourself up for the next season so that way you can actually go out, hire somebody, and then double what you just did. And then you literally just copy and paste that model over and over and over again. You do the same thing. You go and get 50 customers, you hire somebody. You go and get another 50 customers, you hire another person. And you do the same thing over and over and over again, 6 to 8 times until you have a business that has 400 to 500 recurring customers and each employee can do 50 recurring customers. You have built a marvelous business with recurring revenue when you do that. You can, I call this cherry picking the landscaping projects. If you're worried about finances, and I know it gets tight when you're just getting started, and I know as an entrepreneur, you go to sleep, and I know what it's like to put your head on the pillow and stress out and lose sleep and have anxiety, and I understand all of that. I understand it. Trust me, I do. I know the highs, I know the lows. With that being said, you can utilize project-based jobs. Now, be smart about this. Again, if you're going into the winter season, be much more conservative. The 9 months out of the main growing season, generally speaking, okay, we're down here in Texas, we get 9 months. If you're up in the northern states, you might only get 6 or 7. But during the growing season, it is very easy to go out, send a mass email out, send a mass text out, and get more projects on the schedule. So if you're worried about about, hey, I'm gonna give this work over to my employee. I'm not gonna have anything else to do. We'll go ahead and put door hangers out, go ahead and create Facebook ads, do all those things that we talked about. But if you're not getting more sales and you do this for a couple of weeks and you're like, wow, like we're still at the same customer amount, like whatever you're doing is not working, you also still need to be working too. So then we need to tap into doing more projects. We're sending out an upsell to do larger projects. In the meantime, while we are scrambling to try to get more recurring customers, we can do those one-time projects, make really good profit, and pay the bills in the short term. So if you guys have any questions at all for me, please put it in the comments below and I will be more than happy to assist. And I can do a video like this, answer all of your questions. I want to leave you as we wrap up this video with this. You do not wait until you have enough customers to hire. You hire to create capacity for more customers. So be smart. Just know that when you hire somebody to take over those customers, you have to go out and grind and fill that other route for somebody else. And that could be you. Be smart about it. Make sound decisions. If you guys need more help or assistance, you can always join our school community. Down here is in the link of the video. You can always join our community. Make sure you guys are subscribed so that way you don't miss any of this important stuff. We'll see you guys next time.